The theme of this video is do what you really like. To live life, there are lots of hurdles to go through. It's not easy. It's not meant to be easy. If it's easy, maybe you're not trying too much, or maybe you know how to live, but most likely you may hit a very difficult time in life. So to go over that difficult time, if you have something you really like, that thought, the energy, the interest may save you, because you're curious enough to find the solution to whatever you really like to do. There are lots of thoughts that I can think about to point that. Let me start with this one. Soichiro Honda was an engineer, and he made the Honda motor. Very amazing person with lots of creativity, and he has exhibited such a trait from when he was very young. If you read his books of what he has done, you know it. But in essence, he liked the challenge to figure out, especially related to some mechanical thing, and without any education, he found a way to found the Honda Motors and made such a success. Let me talk about my case, my humble case. I think my interest was to do something good, because when I was young I read Thomas Alva Edison and what he has done to invent light bulbs and stuff like that, and that inspired me. I still remember, perhaps it was when I was 9 years old or 10 years old. When I was in elementary school, I read his autobiography, maybe cartoons, and I found the phrase 1% inspiration but 99% perspiration. That inspired me. I had interest in many things. I cannot explain easily, but I started with the engineering part, but I found my skill in engineering is not that good. But curiosity to find a solution, maybe I had that 99.1% formula, that I was curious always to find a solution. So out of engineering I went to business, and also went to Zen, and in Zen I found lots of unknown things, and I wanted to figure out because of curiosity. So that led me to go into Zen and spiritual pursuit. But as I got older, I found that what I do is a combination of all of those, still based upon having a curiosity to go beyond. Zen is precisely like that. He'll give you a koan, and many of the masters, Zen masters, they became masters, I believe, because they had the fundamental question in their early life. Even Buddha, Dogen, Daisetsu, many of those had difficulty in their early age, losing their parents, mother or father or both, even Buddha and Daisetsu and Dogen, Shinran, they all had those questions, why it happened to them and what may be the way. If you call that a curiosity, they had the fundamental attitude trying to solve the problem. I wasn't like that, but I still have that curiosity. And the curiosity is basically to untangle the issues, not just in the brain, but going beyond the brain. Not just the knowledge, but beyond the knowledge. Because if it's already explained in the books and so forth, it's not as fundamental difficulty as it is, as in the case of existential crisis people may have had, those masters. I'm not any of those masters, but I found the curiosity. So from early days, I tried different things, read many books of different genre, and that interest was going on. I went to engineering school. I also played a lot in my high school days to explore that, because playfulness may have something to do with creativity. I didn't know that, but having fun has to be part of the life. That's my intuition I had. And because my high school was attached to the college, we didn't study. We had played. And we came up with lots of ways to play. And that was fun. And I still meet those classmates after 60 years. Every now and then, every year. And without that experience, I don't think I had this attitude of having fun and be curious. I can think of various examples, but the whole point of this is to know what you really like. And that may last long, and for you to go over various hurdles. That's what I see me going through, as much as other people, not just those Zen monks, but whoever may have succeeded in their career. If you look at Picasso, the influence of his parents and what he found as a talent, or perhaps Matsushita, Konosuke Matsushita in Japan, to become not just the founder of Panasonic and succeeding to be one of the wealthiest person in Japan, but going beyond the company management to get into politics for the whole Japan and the people to be happy. I may have forgotten PHP, Peace, Happiness with Prosperity. That's the magazine he started and still keep on going. And his books are well read, promoting the idea of peace, happiness, and prosperity. So that's one example. Warren Buffett, in his case, he found the talent when he was young to be good at numbers and coming up with the creative insight how to make money. He had a good moral discipline, I believe, so he lived his life in a very humble way and will be, I'm sure, while the wealth that he created may be spent in the manner to help the society. So he found his niche and influenced lots of people, the companies, and helped the prosperity of those who invested, but also for those companies who have created more value for the society. I only mentioned two, Picasso and Warren Buffett. I can think about others. I mentioned Honda, Matsushita. But again, the key message here, and now let me reflect on my own. The message is tenacious. To bring out the skills that you can execute because of your curiosity and deep-rooted desire. So I'm not the master like those well-known person, but I believe my curiosity was to go through the complexities to come up with a solution. So when I think about what has happened in the last few weeks, I had to go through difficulties of getting into the new environment, meeting people, setting up how to live in this backpackers in. But I had problems with the computer, one after the other. And if I reflect back, it had series of problems that happened, as much as I have faced a similar situation with AI. And I kept working to solve the problem. And I may be was upset, because of certain obvious things didn't happen as I expected. But I also found some mistakes I have made. So to have a calm and quiet mind is important. And I'm not the one that calm and quiet all the time, but at least I'm curious to solve the problem. So when the problems like what I have experienced pop up, I just stay quiet. What's important, I'll focus. And 99% perspiration. Maybe to use the brain, but also to not deviate from facing the problem. I have learned this skill over time, but maybe I have the seed of it, and I haven't found the solution of this computer issue, because there's multiple failures, but I can see what caused what problem and why certain things happen and what could be the case to prevent or solve this problem. So today I have a meeting with Apple support. I don't know how things going to happen, but be resilient. That would be the way I would put it. I check if my emotional state goes up and down, and I call it black dot exercise when I have some problematic situation. And this month because of that, I had maybe 4 or 5 black dots out of 25 days so far. So what I have learned is to be calm and quiet and be curious, to go beyond what you can think. So stay quiet. And if you are really interested in something, the curiosity and the interest can break through lots of barriers to solve the problem. So have a curiosity. Know what you really like and stay with it. Explore that. That's where you may find the fun, energy, interest, and happiness of growth and knowing yourself better and help the society possibly. Thank you. May all beings be happy.